thought I'd do a video on how we budget for groceries for the month. And so I know everybody's will be different. I know ours, since moving down here to North Carolina, have been a lot more than it used to be back in Michigan. I know it's going to vary for people that have different ages of children. My younger children don't eat as much as my teenagers would eat. So take into account when you think of how much to budget and set aside for food based on what your needs are in your family. So for our family of 11 people, and most of them, let's see, we have two teenagers roughly, and the rest are kind of like ages 11 and 12 and under, so they're not all huge heavy eaters right now. We budget $1,000 a month for groceries, and that gives us about $250 a week for that. I also budget $200 extra for paper supplies like toilet paper, toothpaste, shampoo, cleaners, things like that I need. And then that also, like if I need to pick up socks if somebody needs them or something like that, that's included in that $200. That's usually, so we set aside about $1,200 a month for that. So myself, I've done it multiple different ways. I've done it where I went shopping every single week and planned out a menu, and I did that. I've done it where I've done 2 weeks at a time, and then I've done it where I've done a month at a time, and then I've done it where I did it for a month, and then I got everything I needed that would fit in the freezer and pantry that wouldn't go bad, and then I would go shopping, like get all my produce for the first 2 weeks, when I went shopping, and then when I would go shopping again 2 weeks later and pick up milk and more produce and things like that would go bad. So I've done that. I've also done the freezer meals, where I filled my freezer full of freezer meals, and that was big cooking for a couple days, and then they had it done. That's my absolute favorite way to do it. So whatever way works for your situation. I have different resources on my blog over at plainandnotsoplain.com, and I'll show you different things that we've done. Okay, so I planned out, here's just an example. I just printed one off of my blog, excuse me, of things that we've done. So what I would do is I'd sit down with a piece of paper, and I'd write out on paper first, then I'd print it on my computer so I can stick it on my refrigerator. And I would do my monthly menu plan, and I'd write different days of the week and what kind of meals we would have each day. Sometimes we would do more. This was more from the summer because I had hamburgers and I had chicken, things like that we cook on the grill on Sundays. Mondays was some kind of casserole dish that was easy to make because it was always busy. Tuesdays we kind of did some kind of breakfast things when we had chickens, and so I would do some kind of breakfast meal. Wednesdays we kept it like tacos, nachos, haystacks, something like that, some kind of Mexican theme. Thursdays were sandwiches or something like that, or something easy. Friday was whatever random, whatever is easy everybody liked. And then Saturday we kept it easy with some spaghettis, some pizzas, chilies, that kind of thing. And then at the bottom I would do my lunch ideas because I didn't plan a specific lunch each time. Usually we have leftovers, but here I put I could have crackers and peanut butter, canned chicken salad sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, Mexican grilled cheese, lentils and rice, black beans and rice, tomato soup, grilled cheese, tostadas. Those were just ideas. Breakfast ideas was yogurt. Usually at the end of the month I make a bunch of yogurt up if the milk that's going to go bad, and then we have that with fruit sauce. We have cereal, oatmeal, sausage balls, pumpkin muffins, banana bread. There's a whole list of things that we can do. And then I wrote over here all my meal prep. These are things that when I got all my hamburger, I usually buy it in bulk at a store, and then I would make meatballs, hamburgers, sausage balls, wrote different things that I need to do, different energy bites. And then I had on Wednesday each week we do our baking, and so I would write different ideas for the 4 weeks of different treats to make. So like the first week we would make breakfast cookies, and I wrote to make sure I had milk powder. Then I had granola bars to make, and so this is the page it was on in a recipe book. And so this is things just to give me ideas. I can make whatever I want, but these were just ideas to make each week. And then we have a little snack to snack on for the week. And the next week it was puppy chow and Rice Krispies. The third week was to have pumpkin muffins, banana bread, double chocolate crumble. And then it was just ideas, things that we can have just to have something fun to snack on. So this was one way that I've done it. I've also done the freezer meals, and this is another one. And this is when I just make a list of 100 different meals. I do more than 30 meals, I think, for dinner. And these are all my dinners that I would make. We have breakfasts done over here. And then I would have lunch ideas, soup that I made, snacks that I'd have. And then this was actually for Thanksgiving. So I have Thanksgiving on here. And so these are both different ways I've done this. And then I take, for instance, right now, I'm not doing big meal prep right now, especially after the holidays. I know my husband had some time off from work, which was great, fantastic, but I don't have that. Usually it's like you get that whole week's worth of paycheck and you can use it on your groceries. Well, I didn't have that this month. So yes, I could take from my savings and I could do that, but I didn't want to do that. So I was using the resources I have. And so for myself, I've been shopping every week this month or every 2 weeks this month. And so I went, and so what I do is I sit down with my paper and pen and I write out, like if it's going to be a lean week, I write out my meals for the week, what we can have each night. Maybe spaghetti, and then it might be Chinese rice, and then the next one might be chili, and one might be, I'm trying to think what else we've had this last little week. We had chili. We're doing chicken in the crock pot, which is chicken. It's got salsa and pineapple. That's in the crock pot. And then we're having that with some rice and some broccoli. And so just writing out my meals for 7 days. So I have that, and I know I'm going to have food for it. Figure out, pick up some eggs for breakfasts, some oatmeal, things like that we can have for breakfast. Lunches, usually sandwiches are easy, or we'll have leftovers, or we'll do lentils and rice. I know this week I did a lot of lentils and rice, and we had lentils and rice every single day for lunch, and that was totally fine. Nobody starved. It filled our bellies. It was good. And then I made baked. And so today I know I did some baking, and I made pumpkin muffins, and I made some cupcakes, different things for treats, and I made some rolls. And so we have something, just a snack to have each day, to have something fun. So it's not so boring having lentils. It's not boring. It's just what you do, what you got to do. And so that's something I've done. And so I haven't sat down and did a whole month's worth of groceries yet this year, but I will probably this next month. So different ideas to do. And then I also have done, what if you get at your list and you go, okay, I know it's going to cost more than what do I have, so what do I do? Well, then I start going through my grocery list for the store. Like, I'll make my menu out, and then I'll write down all the things I need to buy, and then I'll start going through that list, and I'll go, okay, let's say I needed, an example would be something like some cream of chicken soup. So I go through my list, and if I'm looking at it going, I have to cut things out, I'd look at the cream of chicken, I'd go, okay, I can cut out cream of chicken soup by the can, even though it's easier to make, just to go get the cans of soup, and I can make my own for cheaper. So then I'll make sure that I have the resources to make that, and then I'll eliminate that off my list. If I don't have to, I won't. That's just one thing that I would do to help cut back on spending if I don't have the money for it. So that's something I would do as well. And so it's just whatever's going to work for your family. Whatever you are able to do budget-wise, that's what you do. If you're only able to go for the week, sit down and figure out how much money you have, and then break down your list out and stick to your list and don't deviate from it. That's the best thing you can do. So, and it'll happen. You can feed them pretty cheap. I know we can feed our family really cheap if we had to, with some good food. And then I know that we can feed them really well if we have more money. So that's an option we do. Something I've also done to help make my life 1,000 times easier is to create a grocery list. It's in a WordPad document, and then each month I print it off, and then I'm able to check and mark off the things I need from the store. What I did is I created this document, and these are the stores that I mainly shop at. Aldi's, Walmart, this is Sam's Club, and these are my fruits and veggies that I need, and then I go to the meat market and any spices, because sometimes I find them at discount stores. And then at the bottom I have my paper shopping, and then what I need for Tractor Supply. This is an old list because I don't have chickens anymore. But this is what I did. I went down the aisles at the store, and I went according to usually what I buy, and I marked it on here. This is normally what we would buy. We don't get this all the time. This was back in the summer, actually, and so we bought a lot of dried fruit, and we made a snack mix with it. And so it just varies, but it just helps me to remember, oh yeah, I need to get that. So if I don't have this, then sometimes I forget things. I'm at the store, I'm like, oh, I need this and that. So I tried to write everything out. And this is awesome. This saves me a lot. I know exactly what I need to buy. I roughly know how much everything costs, and so I know what I'm going to spend. And so this is great for me. So if I would take note of what your aisles are in your stores and start making your list of how they are in the store. And so this is good. And then what I do is, like, I'll do my paper shopping sometimes one time at one different time, and I'll go and get all the paper shopping stuff that I would need, all the medicines. And if I needed it, I put a mark. Okay, I need toothpaste, I need kids mouthwash, I need kids toothpaste, flossers, and I'd mark down how many I needed for all of these. And this helps me know, okay, I'm not gonna be out of that. And then if I find I forget something, I'll write it in. Sometimes I'll be in the store when I first created this, and I'd go, oh wait, I totally forgot to put coffee down, and I'd never forget that. But in case I did, I'd write that on my list. And then sometimes I go in the store and they move things, because they do that, and it drives me crazy. So I have to move things around. Like, I know we just redid all our Aldi stores, so all this was void. So I actually went in the store with my camera and recorded the aisles. I know, it took me like 3 minutes to walk up and down the aisles, and I came home and wrote me out a list, because it was taking me time to search for things when I was shopping. So that's what I do. I write down my veggies and fruit that I need, because now I don't always get them at the same store. I do have a discount store I go to, and sometimes I can find them much cheaper that way. So this works great for a time saver for our family, just knowing what I have to get. So if I had this out for the month and I knew I had to cut back on some things, I would look at it and I go, okay, what is it I don't really need this week? And so that would help. Like, if I didn't really need, can I do without a certain kind of pasta and just get rice? Then I would just cut that off. That's how I do to figure out if I should cut back on something. But you have to do what works good for your family. I know we're not always in the same financial position. Like I said, right now I haven't been able to go big shopping, but we're not starving. Nobody's starving. Everybody's eating and eating well. We're not going hungry. So you look at your resources and what you have. And so I looked at my pantry, I looked at my freezer. Okay, what do I got? Let's gather up our fragments and let's do with what we got. And so I know not always am I able to do a big once a month shopping trip, but when I do, I like to go get everything I need so that I know that I always have on hand the staples to make that meal. Whether I have a salad with it or not, I'll at least have the meal. So I like to do shopping that way because then I know for the whole month I'm able to have enough food to feed everybody. And then that happens if that week I can't get to the store. Okay, well I know that we're still gonna have the main part of the meal. So that's usually what I like to do. But like I said, right now I'm not doing that. This week I just went and I got what I needed, and it was the minimum, and it was great. We all ate, we had food. Today was, like I said, we made chicken, and I had some rice, and I had some cheese. We made cheesy rice, and I got broccoli, and then I did some baking. So I made some rolls. We have homemade rolls, and I did some cupcakes and some muffins, and so we have a snack to have. And so you just do what you have to do. If you have to eat oatmeal for the week, you eat oatmeal for the week. Nobody's gonna die. Your children might go oatmeal or granola or something, but a day of not eating that, maybe the next time they won't eat as much, but by the third or fourth day, they might eat it. So you just keep trying. I know it's been good for my kids. It helps them get out of that picky stage because, okay, this is the food. So if you don't eat, you're going to be hungry. And so they don't always have to have the chunky or the good kind. And so it helps them learn to appreciate it. So that's what you do. You do what you got to do. And if you go and look at your list before you go shopping and go, like for myself, I know I was thinking, how could I stretch my money this week? And so I did spaghetti and some pizza meals. And so I could have bought spaghetti sauce. I could have bought pizza sauce, but instead I opted to go get the $2.99 can of tomato sauce from Sam's Club. And then I made a big pot of spaghetti sauce. And I did that with some spices. I have my spices already at home, so I made that. And then I was able to separate it, have some for pizza, and then have some for spaghetti. And so you just do what you can do with the resources that you have. And then I also figure out how I can make a meal that's going to last for a few days. Like we did chili this week, so some of that tomato sauce I saved. Instead of using tomato juice in my chili, I used tomato sauce, and it was completely fine. Not like I usually make it, but it worked. And so we would do that, and then I would have chili one day, and the next day I had some leftover rice, so we had rice with it. So we had rice, chili, and we put some shredded cheese on it. I had some tortilla chips, and so we made like a haystack with it. And so you just gather your things up and be creative with your meals, and you can make a whole lot of things stretch and go your way. So this is fine. It's just a temporary thing, and then guess what? Next week we'll go and I'll do my big shopping trip, and then I'll make a big freezer meal thing, and it'll be awesome. But for now, this is what I'm doing. So that's why I wanted to do a video for how to budget for groceries. You just got to do what you can do. Gather up your fragments, see what you can spend. Don't ever compare yourself to other families. If you see somebody only spending $500, why can't I spend $500? Because food might cost more where you live. Because I know it does for us. And I don't have all the resources like I did back at my old house. So you just have to find what works best for your family. So, okay, I hope this helps you a little bit. Maybe give you some insight or some influence of what you can do. Maybe to change something on your menu for the week and how to save some money for your family. So you can go over to my blog, plainandnotsoplain.com, Plain, that kind of plane, not an airplane. And then you can look at my resources and what we have, and they're all free. Everything's free over there. So, okay, you have a great day.